Well, first of all, thank you all for coming out to this beautiful, beautiful Brock farm. Although it does make me feel this much bad about my own gardening. But you know what? A lot of what Glenn said about Ed Brock being a businessman and a self-made businessman. And one thing we left out probably is how many New Jerseyans he employs. And when I hear from people like Ed Brock, it's never for any other reason than to say, lady, get out of my life. It's not that he's asking for anything. He's asking for the opportunity as a small business person to continue to be a success, to continue to employ great generations of New Jerseyans. I am the daughter of a small businessman and the granddaughter of a man who stood in his liquor store 7 days a week for 60 years. So I certainly understand that's how our economy works. Part of the disconnect, though, comes from what goes on in Trenton. Every day I go there, and there is, and I sit on appropriations, so it's been a heck of a month. We've had about 80 bills go through, and it's spend, 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 and a lot of the spending sounds great, but the money doesn't come from the sky. The money comes from the citizens of New Jersey. And so, while it's certainly easy to say yes, at times it's very difficult to say, no, that might be an awesome idea for a day we have a few extra pennies, but in the meantime, what we need to do is fight, because the best social program in the world is a job. We learned that from Ronald Reagan. And we cannot create jobs in this state if we continue to create a climate that makes it so difficult, not only for businesses to survive, but how about expand? How about hire a few more people? Get a few more of those great jobs out. I know I've been in Trenton for a few terms. I always think, though, that I carry with me the heart of our first election. My first election I ran in 2007 with Jen and Declan. It goes down in history as the second most expensive legislative election in history. So I've got that little footnote. But it was a tough time, and we knocked on 12,000 doors. And I still knock on doors, and I still hear the same thing from people, which is, I appreciate all you're trying to do, but what I really need you to do is focus on my property taxes. What I really need you to do is focus on my income taxes. I very rarely in Monmouth County get asked for anything except to get out of people's sweat. And as a policymaker, that's something you have to remember. Every day you serve those citizens. They might not be in Trenton testifying before your committee, because guess what? You're at work. So I have to remember that silent majority in my head. And the honor of being able to serve Monmouth County is something that fills my heart every day. Whenever I drive into Trenton, as Matt knows, who's always with me, and we see that Golden Dome, I get excited every time for the thought that I can have an impact. And I'm so proud of some of the bills that we've passed. I'm so proud of independent healthcare appeals, that people can call an 800 number when their insurance company says no, but their doctor says yes, and get a third-party arbitrator to look at that for $50. That improves life of New Jerseyans. I'm so proud that we have the Senate President carrying our domestic violence court bill in the Senate, which the Asbury Park Press editorialized today. That's going to help pull women out of abusive relationships. The first time they have the interaction with the police. And I'm really proud of a lot of what we've done for schools, but there's so much more to be done, particularly with the school funding formula, particularly in District 11. Our work isn't completed, but we've got a good head start, and I really would love the honor of going back, seeing that Golden Dome, and knowing we're going to get in there and fight, fight, fight for District 11. So thank you very much.
It has been such an honor for me to be able to serve the people of District 11. The 17 municipalities that we represent have such unique issues, but then again, we have the same issue that runs through all of them. And just as it was stated earlier, it's property tax reform. It's helping small businesses. I'm so delighted. Ed, thank you so much for being a gracious host to letting us kick off our campaign here today. Small businesses are the backbone of New Jersey. They're the backbone of each and every community. You cannot look at a small business and not realize that they help the nonprofits in the world, in their backyard. They help their neighbors. They're not getting, headlines every time they do it, but they're there. And the more difficult choices that we make to get government out of business, actually is a better choice for the businesses. But the difficulty that we have, Caroline and I have, is working against the Democrats and their idea of what a good business plan should look like. Their idea of having more taxes, their idea of free services. We know there is nothing free in this life. As it was mentioned earlier, Caroline mentioned, it's so true. We're saying we're going to offer you something free, it's coming out of someone else's pocket. I have been in the legislature since 2008, and it has been such an honor and a privilege to serve the District 11 constituents. I will continue to fight for Harry and Teddy and Alex and Angie and Nellie, who are my grandchildren, Christine's children. We have got to keep our families together. And if we do not change, if we do not turn the politics of New Jersey around, we are going to lose our families. As Glenn mentioned, we just found out, businesses are leaving in droves. We need to make sure that we keep them back. And that is going to be through good policy decisions. I want to thank Reverend Durkin for opening with a prayer. We need prayer so much. I mean, I just heard a horrendous story coming over here about ISIS and their latest, I don't even know what the word is. It's not even tragedy. It's beyond words. We have got to bring prayer back to our communities, to our families. So I'm very grateful to have you here. And I truly do feel that this is, God is on my shoulders. So I'm hoping to continue to make the decisions that I make in honor of the people that I serve. This is going to be a great election, but the one thing that I'm so very, very concerned about, and Caroline can chime in as well, we keep hearing, oh, you've got it. You guys are great legislators. No problems. You don't have to worry about it. Well, all of you are very informed citizens, so I'm sure you realize that the Assembly, we're at the top of the ticket. There's nobody higher than us, which means it's going to be a very low turnout election. And that could be bad for us. It could be good for us. So we cannot take one vote for granted. Please, that's what I implore of you, to talk to your friends, your families, and make sure as we get closer, and we'll be reminding you to get out and vote, because it is so very important. We have wonderful friends that are going to be campaigning with us. Christine Hanlon, who's running for the clerk, and Freeholder John Curley. It's going to be a great fall election. Councilwoman Barbara McMorrow,
thank you so much for coming.
Welcome back to Freehold Township, because I know you're always here.
Well, thank you. So again, it's my honor and privilege to say that I am running for District 11, New Jersey General Assembly, and I hope to lead my campaign and my staff, the next 9 months with honesty, integrity, and personal accountability, as I have since 2008. So again, thank you for coming out and enjoying this beautiful day. Brock, Mr. Brock, thank you so very, very much, Ed. Thank you.